It's inconceivable for someone lacking an academic background like yours to be involved in teaching, particularly since it could adversely impact her academic performance. Upon discovering that I was providing academic support to my niece, my sister-in-law directed her anger towards me. Sophia, why are you associating with someone like her? What if you end up like her? My sister-in-law seemed to perceive my presence as something detrimental, her cold attitude testing my patience. Amy, think before you speak. Who do you think contributes to our comfortable life? Isn't it because Mary works hard at home? In response to my mother-in-law's gentle words, my sister-in-law became even more emotional. Why are you defending her? Isn't it her duty to handle household chores? She's not just doing housework. She works hard and contributes a lot to the household. You just gallivant around without contributing. If anything, you should be grateful to Mary. Do you really believe she's working earnestly? I can't imagine someone like her being interested in essential tasks. My sister-in-law then impulsively grabbed my desktop computer and threw it out of the window. What are you doing? You're probably pretending to work hard without achieving anything. Leave this house immediately. I rushed outside to check on my computer, but it was damaged beyond repair. I had also lost valuable work data. Her immature actions genuinely shocked and disappointed me. I couldn't fathom continuing to live together under such circumstances. I had been tolerating it for the sake of my relationship with my husband and mother-in-law, but this incident pushed me beyond my limits. I left a message and decided to return to my parents. I am Mary, 29 years old. Last year, I started a new life with my beloved husband, Scene. Initially, we imagined living in a city apartment as we both worked nearby. However, Scene was always concerned about his mother's health, as she often experienced knee pain due to her previous job. Walking even a short distance required frequent breaks. Knowing this, we suggested living together. Upon hearing our proposal, she brightened up and said, "Mary, you want to live with us? I'm so happy." She's a genuinely kind-hearted person and warmly welcomed me. However, my sister-in-law, Amy, was fixated on academic backgrounds. During our first family meal, my educational background came up and her demeanor changed. "Mary, you didn't go to college, right? Why would Scene choose someone like you?" She spoke to me in a somewhat harsh manner. "Sis, that's not a nice thing to say. Mary graduated from a national university, and Scene and I graduated from a famous private university. Couldn't you find someone smarter and more charming? What's the merit of marrying someone with a lower education?" My mother-in-law reprimanded Amy, saying, "Stop it, Mary." I'm sorry for the rude things she said, but I was already left speechless. I grew up with my hardworking mother after losing my father at a young age. Unable to afford college, I started working. In such circumstances, I was fortunate to work at a tax accountant office, and another opportunity came my way. My boss encouraged me, saying, "Why don't you try getting a certified public accountant qualification, Mary? I believe you can do it." Encouraged by his support, I embarked on a new challenge, hoping to secure better job opportunities, increase my income, and better support my mother. My husband understood my aspirations and conveyed my efforts to my sister-in-law. However, she remained cold and indifferent. Despite my genuine intentions, my sister-in-law's words cut deep when she uttered, "If Mary becomes pregnant, I hope the child won't take after her and will be intelligent." These words struck me unexpectedly, making me question if my feelings stemmed from having only a high school diploma. Perplexed, I chose not to escalate the situation, refraining from further discussion. Subsequently, my sister-in-law would frequently mock me over trivial matters, commenting on my cooking speed or reminiscing about her university days during casual conversations, seemingly to taunt me. What bothered me more was that she imparted similar comments to her daughter, Sophia. Sophia, being a kind-hearted child, obediently listened to her mother's words. My sister-in-law had high expectations for Sophia, now preparing for her junior high school entrance exam at S Academy Junior High. Although my sister-in-law took a part-time role there without a teaching license, she did it to avoid additional responsibilities. In front of me, she would deliberately tell Sophia, "Let's work hard together for the future." Frustrated, I bit my lip, lacking the courage to confront my sister-in-law and not wanting to drag my husband and mother-in-law into any trouble. Despite our infrequent meetings, I told myself that enduring her behavior would be okay. However, an unexpected development awaited us one day. My sister-in-law suddenly arrived at our house, holding Sophia's hand, and casually announced, "Mom, I got divorced. We'll be staying here for a while. Please take care of us." Both my mother-in-law and I were shocked by this sudden news, questioning why it happened so abruptly. My sister-in-law responded with a sigh, stating, "That man was so annoying till the end. He incessantly complained about the smallest things and never listened to me, yet he decided to divorce just because of that." Before my mother-in-law could continue, she stopped herself. "It's not just that," my sister-in-law replied with a bitter smile. "When I asked for alimony during the divorce, he only agreed to pay $600. After being together for so long, I was shocked by the amount. So, I thought it would be better to come back home where I don't have to worry about living expenses. Plus, I wanted to spend more time with you, Mom." She showed a slight smile and held her mother's hand. "I can live peacefully in this house." She then laid back on the sofa, scrolling through her smartphone, with packed bags and boxes scattered around the room. My mother-in-law and I were lost for words, watching this chaotic scene. A look of surprise and confusion was evident on my mother-in-law's face, and I shared those feelings as well. After a while, my sister-in-law handed me some of her clothes, asking, "Mary, can you wash these for me later?" I suggested that they should be sent to the dry cleaners, but she replied, self-centered, "You could do that much for me, right?" From then on, not only did her requests increase, but her troublesome behavior also intensified. One day, I discovered an oil-based pen stain on the laundry, which was clearly her doing. Upon seeing me sigh at the stain, she remarked smugly, "Oh, did I make a little mistake?" Then she added, "People with low education can't even do housework properly, can they? I wonder if there's any value in living for someone as useless as you." Her actions were causing my stress levels to peak. I reached my breaking point and finally decided to discuss it with my husband. "I work all day and still have to deal with housework when I get home. It's a real burden when she purposely makes things difficult." "I understand it's hard for me to see you going through this," my husband replied, listening to me quietly. He promised we'd find a solution together. That night, he confronted my sister-in-law about her behavior. My husband's warm words and actions always gave me a sense of security. However, from the next day, the harassment from my sister-in-law escalated even further. "You think he protects you, don't you? But to others, you just seem overly dependent. Relying only on a man doesn't make you strong. I don't have any intention of being dependent, depending on someone, being protected by them. To others, you might seem like a coward. Can't you stand on your own?" Holding back my emotions became harder with each of my sister-in-law's words. Despite facing many hardships in life and taking pride in overcoming them, I couldn't stand being hurt by her words. Seeing my distress, my husband seemed wary from the constant confrontations with his sister and began avoiding her. However, my sister-in-law's harassment didn't stop with me. It began affecting Sophia as well. She was keen on getting Sophia admitted to S Academy and was eager to send her to a tutoring school. "Sophia, what's this test score? You can't get into S Academy with these grades. I apologize if your grades don't improve. Maybe you will need to hire a tutor. But remember, it's up to how hard you work." Sophia, looking like she was on the verge of tears, nodded. She had already been going to a cram school every day after school, and getting a private tutor would make her lose any free time she had left. Feeling sorry for Sophia, I offered, "Do you want to study with me? I can help you with some things, really. Of course, I'm here for you." From then on, We started studying together, being careful not to get noticed by my sister-in-law. Although Sophia sometimes struggled, she grasped concepts when taught patiently. "Mary, I got 80 points on my test." "That's great," Sophia exclaimed. "You worked really hard." Sharing that success brought genuine warmth to our hearts. My mother-in-law, who noticed our efforts, sometimes cheered us up secretly by sharing delicious cakes with us. The time spent with her and Sophia became my healing moments. However, this peaceful time was short-lived. One day, while studying with Sophia, my sister-in-law unexpectedly returned home. Seeing us, she shouted, "What are you doing? You, with no formal education, are teaching her? I can't believe it. You might make her grades drop. Stay away." Furthermore, my sister-in-law slapped Sophia on the shoulder and yelled, "Why are you spending time with her? Do you want to end up like her?" The way she spoke about me as if I were contagious made my anger boil over. All the things I had been holding back just overflowed. As I told you before, I'd only graduated high school due to financial reasons. Judging someone solely based on their educational background is wrong. "What did you say?" My sister-in-law exploded even more. Hearing the commotion, my mother-in-law intervened, saying, "What's happening here? Mary is getting too close to Sophia." What if her low educational background influences Sophia? Do you know who's ensuring our comfortable lifestyle? Haven't you seen how hard Mary works at home? My mother-in-law's calm yet pointed words only fueled my sister-in-law's anger. "Why are you defending her? Anybody can do household chores. It's not just chores. She's working hard, contributing to our household. All you do is go out and play, indifferent to what's happening at home. You should be more grateful. Are you saying she has a proper job? I can't believe it." With that, my sister-in-law grabbed my PC from the desk and threw it out the window. "Why would you do that? That job you cherish so much probably isn't that big of a deal. Stop acting so pretentious. Just leave this house already." I rushed outside in a panic to check my computer, but it was broken beyond repair. It contained my work's vital data. Feeling anger and disappointment towards her childish behavior, living together with someone like this became impossible. For a long time, I had valued my relationship with my husband and mother-in-law, trying to protect our household. However, I had felt my limits. That night, I left a note and decided to return to my parents' home. The next morning, I received repeated calls from my sister-in-law, but I ignored all of them. However, within a week, my husband and sister-in-law showed up at my workplace. He strongly conveyed his apologies, saying, "Amy's completely wrong this time. Amy, please apologize sincerely." Though encouraged by Sean, her dissatisfaction was evident from her attitude. Why should I apologize? Sophia's grades have clearly dropped in her absence. Mary's presence must have been important not only for Sophia, but for you as well. Indeed, I had felt guilty deep down about Sophia's academic struggles. It seems there's no other way. Mary, come back home and support Sophia's studies. I never wanted to live with someone with your educational background, but I'll endure it for Sophia's sake. I had wanted to return for Sophia's sake, but her arrogant tone nearly extinguished that desire. If you truly care about Sophia's education, why don't you teach her yourself, Amy? You strongly recommended her to study for exams. So why are you neglecting her? I didn't want to be told anything by someone like you. Encouraged by Sean, her dissatisfaction was evident from her attitude. I encouraged Sophia to study for exams because I don't want her to end up in a lowly position like you. Is that really all there is to it? I want Sophia to grow up to be an elite adult like me. I want her to graduate from a renowned university and build a career like the one I've established at the prestigious SIL Academy. She continued flaunting her own success. Unable to bear the exchange, my company's director intervened and tried to resolve the matter peacefully. "Excuse me. I assume you are Mary's family. Nice to meet you." "Yes, that's right." My husband greeted the director politely. "I have overheard a little. I'd like to affirm that Mary has shown tremendous capability and contributed significantly to our company. Really? I never thought you'd hire someone with just a high school degree. Education doesn't solely define a person's abilities. Even compared to university graduates, Mary has been producing equal, if not better, results. My director's words left my sister-in-law with a surprised expression. Do you truly believe that? I think educational background determines one's status and value, the director responded. Carly, you mentioned you work at S Academy. May I have your name? My name is Amy Smith. You're Miss Smith. I've heard about your troublesome attitude and behavior. Are you implying Mary has been speaking ill of me? No, I haven't. I've heard about you from Mary, but I have heard about you from the principal and other staff at S Academy. Amy's eyes widened, clearly taken aback. Here's the reason. The director handed her a business card that clearly reads Academy Board Chairman. You're the chairman? Both my husband and I were utterly shocked, lost for words upon understanding the information on the card. Amy's demeanor changed instantly, her eyes filled with fear and surprise. I've heard about your behavior and issues within the academy, delegating your work, shirking responsibilities, and even discriminatory actions towards students. Numerous problems have been pointed out. In a panic, Amy responded, "That's not true." Of course, I was considering a direct response. Upon hearing this, my sister-in-law started to panic. I can't lose my current job. I just got divorced and did stuff to support my daughter and myself. She begged desperately, with a serious look on her face. The principal replied calmly but with deep understanding. Our school's policies and philosophies are clear. We cannot tolerate work behavior like yours. My sister-in-law was devastated and burst into tears on the spot. The next day, an official notice from S Academy confirmed that she had to leave the school. Unable to hide her shock, she returned home in confusion. Afterwards, she locked herself in her room, and occasional voices of anger and dissatisfaction could be heard. This situation started affecting the family dynamics. Her stress was often directed at Sophia, and the tension in the household grew day by day. How can you not even solve this simple problem for a sixth grader? This is unacceptable. You will not rest or sleep until you finish this textbook tonight, so make sure to get it right. Sophia had been studying under this strict guidance day after day, and her fatigue was evident on her face. I was worried she might follow Amy's path. Stop pushing Sophia like this. Think about what you're doing, my mother-in-law interjected, unable to bear the situation. Mom, shut up. I don't want to hear anything you say. Taking the situation seriously, my mother-in-law finally told Amy to leave the house. Amy, you can't stay here any longer. Leave now. Why should I be the one to leave? You're the one pushing Sophia to the brink and harming her mental health. If you care about her as your own daughter, leave this house now. I can't believe you're trying to take my daughter away from me. My mother-in-law asked the distressed Sophia. Sophia, what do you want? Do you want to stay in this house or go somewhere else with your mother? Sophia's answer was clear. I want to stay in this house. I'm scared to be with Mom. Shocked by these words, Amy lowered her head and cried. But my mother-in-law's resolve was firm, and she escorted her daughter out of the house. Reflect sincerely on your actions. What you did can never be tolerated. With that, my mother-in-law closed the door. Afterwards, my sister-in-law ended up losing her job and home. She tried various jobs, but due to her personality, she struggled, and her difficult life continued. With her gone, I returned to my mother-in-law's home and regained our peaceful daily life. Sophia regained her peace of mind and started to smile every day. When we learned that she wanted to continue her studies, we, as a couple, decided to support her. A year later, Sophia successfully passed the entrance exam to S Academy, as her hard work finally bore fruit. We felt genuine relief and joy. Now Sophia continues to work hard towards her dream of becoming a teacher, and we hope to continue supporting the path she has chosen.